Oh god, when everything is spiraling out of control, when only 10 people have turned up to your key speech, when you decide to accidentally post pictures, look at this, of your husband having an argument with the nanny on your wedding day, then what more is there to do than yet another disastrous advertising post making zero sense, but showing that you are, these days, pretty damn crazy.
There was something deeply strange about the anniversary post, and people noticed it almost immediately. Not because it was emotional, not because it was romantic, and certainly not because it revealed some unseen fairy tale hidden behind palace walls, but because the longer viewers stared at the photographs Meghan Markle personally selected for the world to see, the more the entire thing began to feel less like a celebration of marriage and more like a carefully controlled reconstruction of memory itself. 24 images uploaded to millions of followers. Image after image supposedly honoring the day she entered the British royal family, yet somehow the royal family itself appeared almost erased from the story, as though the institution that turned a Hollywood actress into a duchess had suddenly become inconvenient to acknowledge inside her own version of history. And that is where the conversation started shifting this week, because once people stopped looking at what was included in the carousel and started noticing what had quietly disappeared from it, the tone online changed completely. This was not just another celebrity anniversary tribute posted into the algorithm before breakfast. This became a public inventory of relationships, loyalties, alliances, and absences. Viewers began counting faces. They counted family members. They counted celebrity friends. They counted royal appearances. And the final total left many people asking the same uncomfortable question. How does a royal wedding album end up looking almost entirely like a solo branding campaign? Because scattered throughout those photographs were repeated images of Meghan alone, Meghan posing, Meghan dancing, Meghan preparing, Meghan framed as the emotional centerpiece of nearly every shot, while Prince Harry himself often appeared secondary inside the narrative of his own wedding day. The deeper people looked, the stranger the balance became. There were glamorous reception photographs, intimate hallway shots, carefully selected black and white moments, but almost none of the institutional figures who defined that historic day seemed to survive the final edit. No meaningful inclusion of King Charles III, despite the fact that he personally stepped in to walk her partway down the aisle after the collapse of the Thomas Markle situation. No visible tribute to Queen Elizabeth II, the monarch who approved the wedding, granted the Sussex title, and publicly welcomed her into the family during one of the most globally watched royal events in modern history. Even Prince William and Catherine, whose children participated directly in the ceremony itself, appeared effectively absent from the emotional framing of the anniversary narrative. And once that realization settled in, the carousel stopped feeling nostalgic and started feeling strategic. What made the entire situation even more fascinating was the timing surrounding it, because this anniversary post did not arrive during a period of royal reconciliation or renewed public warmth toward the Sussex brand. It arrived during one of the coldest periods the couple has faced socially, institutionally, and culturally since leaving royal life behind. Over the last several months, the pattern surrounding Harry and Meghan has become increasingly difficult to ignore. Former celebrity allies have quietly drifted away. Invitations have become selective. Public appearances have become more isolated. Hollywood enthusiasm that once surrounded the couple now feels dramatically reduced compared to the frenzy that existed immediately after the Oprah interview and Netflix launch years ago. And that is precisely why the Elton John photograph caught so much attention. Out of all the celebrity guests present at the original royal wedding, one recognizable famous face survived into the anniversary carousel, Elton John, someone many royal commentators immediately pointed out has historically maintained a far deeper relationship with Prince Harry than with Meghan herself. That detail mattered because audiences subconsciously understand symbolism, especially inside celebrity culture where inclusion and exclusion rarely happen accidentally. A wedding album tells the public who still belongs in your life. It reveals who remains emotionally useful to the story you are trying to tell. And when viewers realize that even Meghan's own mother, Doria failed to appear anywhere inside a carefully curated collection of 24 images, the conversation became impossible to ignore. That absence landed particularly hard because Doria was not some distant relative hidden from the ceremony years ago. She was central to the emotional narrative of that entire wedding day. The cameras capture her crying during the ceremony, smiling during the carriage procession, participating in official portraits, and standing beside her daughter during one of the most important transitions of her life. Meghan has publicly described her mother for years as her emotional anchor, her closest confidant, her moral center. Yet when given complete control over the anniversary narrative this week, she excluded her entirely. Not accidentally. Intentionally. And that single decision may have revealed more about the current state of Meghan Markle's public identity than any interview she has given in years. Because increasingly the Sussex narrative no longer feels built around family, institution, or even partnership. It feels built around image management itself, a carefully maintained performance where memory is continuously reorganized to serve the emotional needs of the present moment. But the real turning point in this story came when people began comparing this anniversary spectacle to something Prince Harry himself admitted only months earlier, because once those two narratives collided side by side, the contradictions inside the Sussex brand suddenly became much harder to defend. If you've noticed the growing gap between what Harry publicly says and what Meghan publicly does, you are not alone, because the next piece of this story may be the most revealing part yet. And before we get there, make sure you subscribe, because what happened after this carousel pulled even more members of the royal family quietly back into the spotlight. What truly turned this anniversary carousel into a royal controversy was not simply the absence of certain photographs, but the collision between two completely different public identities Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been trying to sell to the world at the exact same time. Because only months before Meghan Markle uploaded those 24 carefully curated wedding photographs to millions of Instagram followers, Prince Harry sat comfortably inside an American podcast studio warning audiences about the dangers of social media itself, speaking with a kind of seriousness that suggested Prince Harry genuinely believed modern platforms were psychologically corrosive, manipulative, and dangerous for families raising children in the digital age. And yet the moment viewers remembered those comments while staring at Meghan Markle's anniversary spectacle, the contradictions suddenly became impossible to unsee. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, specifically described social media companies as harmful forces that farm children's minds, insisting Prince Harry and Meghan Markle planned to be far more cautious when it came to exposing Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet to online culture. But then audiences watched Meghan Markle release an intensely personal carousel filled with private family symbolism, emotional intimacy, and curated glimpses into Sussex domestic life, all distributed through the exact ecosystem Prince Harry publicly condemned. That disconnect created something far more damaging than criticism. It created confusion. And once a public figure begins confusing audiences about what they actually believe, trust starts evaporating faster than reputation can recover. What made the optics even worse was the emotional tone Meghan Markle appeared to be chasing inside the post itself, because the entire presentation felt strangely trapped in the past. While Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, consistently positioned their public image around continuity, duty, family progression, and future monarchy symbolism, Meghan Markle's anniversary narrative seemed obsessed with replaying a vanished moment from 8 years ago, almost as though the wedding itself remains the emotional high point the Sussex brand still cannot move beyond. That difference matters enormously in royal storytelling because monarchy has always been built around forward momentum. The institution survives by projecting stability into the future, not by endlessly reliving one glamorous historical moment. And audiences instinctively understand that distinction even when they cannot fully articulate it. That is why comparisons between Meghan Markle and Catherine, Princess of Wales, exploded across royal commentary spaces this week. Catherine, Princess of Wales, rarely floods social media with self-referential nostalgia. Instead, Prince William and Catherine carefully use photographs to reinforce evolving family identity, public service, national symbolism, and generational continuity. Every appearance subtly says the same thing: the monarchy continues. But Meghan Markle's carousel communicated something very different. The emotional message underneath those 24 photographs felt closer to, "Remember when I was still inside that world." And that subtle psychological difference changed the audience reaction completely. Because here is the uncomfortable question many viewers started quietly asking themselves after studying the anniversary upload for several hours. If Meghan Markle is genuinely happier outside royal life, then why does so much of Meghan Markle's branding continue revolving around proximity to the royal institution itself? Why revisit the wedding so aggressively now? Why frame the relationship through old palace imagery instead of building a stronger modern identity disconnected from Buckingham Palace altogether? And perhaps most importantly, why did the carousel feel less like a happy marriage celebration and more like a public attempt to reclaim emotional ownership over a royal chapter that increasingly appears closed? Those questions became even harder to dismiss once the broader social landscape surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle entered the discussion. Over the past 2 years, one celebrity connection after another appears to have cooled publicly. Oprah Winfrey, once positioned almost like a symbolic ally during the explosive CBS interview, has largely disappeared from the Sussex orbit. George Clooney and Amal Clooney, who attended the royal wedding despite reportedly barely knowing the couple beforehand, now appear far more visibly aligned with King Charles III and institutional royal events. David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, once publicly connected to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, now appear increasingly comfortable around Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales instead. And that gradual shift creates a devastating perception problem, because in celebrity culture silence speaks almost as loudly as public criticism. Even Serena Williams, one of Meghan Markle's longest-standing celebrity friendships, now appears far less publicly intertwined with the Sussex narrative than audiences once expected. The result is that Meghan Markle's anniversary post unintentionally triggered a second conversation beneath the first one. A conversation not about romance, but about shrinking influence. Viewers were no longer simply analyzing photographs. Viewers were measuring social gravity. Who still shows up for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? Who quietly stepped away? Which relationships survived the transition from royal rebels to California media entrepreneurs? And which alliances slowly dissolved once the excitement faded? That is why the Elton John inclusion carried symbolic weight far beyond one simple photograph. Elton John represented one of the final surviving bridges back to Princess Diana's emotional legacy, one of the few celebrity relationships still visibly connected to Prince Harry's pre-California identity. And whether intentional or not, Meghan Markle's decision to include Elton John while excluding most institutional royal figures created an almost subconscious contrast between inherited emotional capital and collapsing social relevance. But the most fascinating part of this entire situation may actually involve the royal family itself. Because while Meghan Markle spent the week revisiting old wedding memories online, something else was quietly happening inside the monarchy at the exact same time. Prince William, the future king, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, and several senior royals have been steadily rebuilding a visible image of institutional unity without Prince Harry and Meghan Markle involved at all. And the upcoming royal gathering connected to Peter Phillips may have revealed just how complete that separation has now become behind palace walls. So before we get into why royal insiders believe the next family event could become one of the clearest signs yet that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are no longer viewed as central figures inside the House of Windsor, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, because the deeper this story goes, the more the monarchy's long-term strategy toward the Sussexes begins revealing itself piece by piece. The deeper this story moves into royal territory, the less this anniversary carousel begins to look like harmless nostalgia, and the more it starts resembling a quiet acknowledgement that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are now orbiting outside the real center of royal life altogether. Because while Meghan Markle was uploading carefully filtered memories from May 2018, the House of Windsor itself appeared to be moving in an entirely different direction, one focused not on revisiting old emotional battles, but on rebuilding stability around Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and King Charles III without the Sussexes involved in the process anymore. And whether royal commentators want to admit it openly or not, the contrast between those two trajectories has become almost impossible to ignore. What makes this particularly significant is the timing surrounding the upcoming royal gathering connected to Peter Phillips, Princess Anne's son and one of the late Queen Elizabeth II's most trusted grandchildren. Royal insiders increasingly believe this event matters far beyond an ordinary family wedding because it represents something the monarchy has been quietly trying to restore ever since the chaos of the Oprah interview fractured public confidence inside the institution: visible continuity. King Charles III is expected to attend. Prince William, the future king, is expected to attend. Catherine, Princess of Wales, whose gradual return to public life has been followed intensely across Britain, is expected to attend. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are reportedly becoming more visible around royal engagements again as well. But one absence has dominated discussion around the event before it has even happened. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are nowhere near the center of these plans. And that matters because family weddings inside the royal world are rarely just family weddings. Royal gatherings function symbolically. Seating arrangements become headlines. Guest lists become statements. Public appearances become signals about trust, hierarchy, reconciliation, and future positioning inside the monarchy itself. Which means the growing speculation surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's exclusion from this next major royal gathering carries emotional consequences far larger than one missed invitation. It reinforces an increasingly painful reality for the Sussex brand. The royal family may no longer view Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as active participants in the institution's future narrative. Now ask yourself something honestly for a moment. If Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, once stood beside Prince William as one of the most recognizable royal figures on earth, how did the relationship deteriorate to the point where Prince William appears to be rebuilding the monarchy publicly while Prince Harry and Meghan Markle revisit old wedding photographs from California? That emotional contrast is precisely why this entire story has started resonating so strongly with audiences. People are not just watching celebrity drama anymore. People are watching two competing visions of identity unfold in real time. On one side stands Prince William, the future king, whose public image increasingly revolves around duty, endurance, family protection, and institutional calm even during periods of personal difficulty involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, and King Charles III's health battles. On the other side stands Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, whose media strategy still appears heavily anchored to emotional retrospection, grievance framing, and highly personalized branding moments tied directly back to royal history itself. One narrative points forward. The other repeatedly circles backward. And audiences instinctively feel that difference even before commentators fully explain it. What may be even more revealing, however, is how carefully Buckingham Palace appears to be handling the Sussex question now compared to previous years. After the explosive media warfare surrounding Spare, Netflix, and the Oprah interview, the monarchy no longer seems interested in publicly fighting Prince Harry and Meghan Markle at all. Instead, the royal institution appears to have adopted something potentially far more effective: strategic distance. No dramatic retaliation. No emotional public exchanges. No constant rebuttal campaigns. Just gradual separation, reduced engagement, and carefully controlled visibility centered around working royals who remain institutionally loyal. And historically, that strategy tends to work remarkably well for monarchies. Because institutions survive by outlasting emotional storms, not by reacting emotionally to every headline cycle. Queen Elizabeth II understood that principle better than almost anyone in modern public life, and increasingly King Charles III and Prince William appear to be applying the same philosophy toward the Sussex situation today. Allow the media cycle to burn itself out. Allow contradictions to reveal themselves naturally. Allow public fatigue to develop on its own. Meanwhile, the monarchy continues moving forward through ceremonies, state functions, charity initiatives, military appearances, and carefully staged continuity events that reinforce permanence rather than instability. That is why Meghan Markle's anniversary carousel landed so awkwardly against the current royal backdrop. Instead of projecting evolution, the upload accidentally highlighted emotional stagnation. Instead of reminding audiences of royal glamour, the carousel reminded viewers how distant Prince Harry and Meghan Markle now appear from the institution that once gave them global significance in the first place. And perhaps most importantly, the reaction revealed something many Sussex supporters may not want to acknowledge openly. Audiences are becoming less interested in reliving the conflict and more interested in seeing who actually represents the monarchy's future. Increasingly, that answer appears to be Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. The Princess of Wales, especially following recent health concerns, has become almost symbolic of resilience inside modern royal storytelling. Every public appearance by Catherine, Princess of Wales, now carries emotional gravity because audiences see continuity, composure, and sacrifice attached to Catherine's image. Compare that carefully maintained symbolism to Meghan Markle's increasingly influencer-style digital branding approach, and the gap between the two public identities becomes enormous. One woman appears tied to institutional endurance. The other appears tied to personal visibility. Fair or unfair, that is the emotional perception beginning to solidify online. And this may explain why Prince Harry now finds himself trapped between two worlds that no longer comfortably coexist. Prince Harry cannot fully return to royal life after years of public attacks against the institution, but Prince Harry also struggles to completely separate personal relevance from royal association itself. That tension hangs over almost every Sussex media moment now, including this anniversary controversy. The wedding remains commercially valuable because the monarchy remains commercially valuable. But the more Prince Harry and Meghan Markle continue monetizing emotional proximity to royal history, the more audiences start questioning whether the couple ever truly wanted independence from the institution at all. And the next phase of this story may become even more uncomfortable, because royal insiders believe the monarchy's response to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is no longer being shaped emotionally by past betrayals, but strategically by succession planning around Prince William's future reign. So before we get into why many commentators believe Prince William has already begun quietly defining the boundaries of the next monarchy era without Prince Harry involved inside it, Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because the final pieces of this royal separation story reveal far more than one Instagram carousel ever intended. What makes the current situation surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle so extraordinary is that the real battle no longer appears to be happening in public interviews, Netflix productions, or explosive memoir chapters at all. The real battle now seems to be happening quietly inside perception itself, inside the slow emotional calculation audiences make over time about who feels stable, who feels authentic, who feels future-oriented, and who still appears trapped inside unresolved resentment from the past. Because the monarchy Prince William is preparing to inherit looks dramatically different from the monarchy Prince Harry walked away from, and many royal observers now believe Prince William, the future king, has already begun shaping the emotional architecture of that future reign without Prince Harry positioned anywhere near its center. That possibility carries enormous emotional weight because for decades the image of Prince William and Prince Harry functioned almost like the emotional heart of the younger royal generation. Following the death of Princess Diana, the public watched Prince William and Prince Harry grow together under unimaginable scrutiny, and over time audiences projected enormous symbolic meaning onto that brotherhood. The two princes represented continuity after tragedy. Prince William represented responsibility and future kingship, while Prince Harry represented emotional accessibility and rebellious charisma. Together, the balance worked. But now the contrast between Prince William's trajectory and Prince Harry's trajectory has become so sharp that the original image no longer even feels recognizable. And perhaps nowhere is that contrast more visible than in the way both men now relate to public duty itself. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, increasingly appears focused on permanence, discipline, and controlled modernization. Whether discussing homelessness initiatives, environmental programs through Earthshot, military appearances, or supporting Catherine, Princess of Wales during health struggles, Prince William consistently projects the image of someone preparing psychologically for institutional responsibility on a massive scale. Even critics of the monarchy often acknowledge that Prince William understands symbolism remarkably well. Every appearance feels measured. Every public statement feels restrained. Every visual moment surrounding Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, reinforces continuity rather than chaos. Meanwhile, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle continue generating headlines largely through reaction rather than construction. 1 month audiences discuss another interview. Another month audiences debate an anniversary post. Then comes another controversy surrounding branding decisions, celebrity relationships, media contradictions, or unresolved grievances involving the royal family. And slowly, over time, the emotional energy surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has shifted from anticipation to exhaustion. That may sound harsh, but it reflects a growing sentiment visible across both royal commentary spaces and mainstream public reactions alike. Now think carefully about this question, because it may explain the monarchy's current strategy better than any palace statement ever could. Why would Buckingham Palace aggressively attack Prince Harry and Meghan Markle publicly when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle increasingly damage their own positioning simply through overexposure and contradiction? From an institutional perspective, silence becomes far more powerful once audiences begin connecting the inconsistencies themselves. And recently those inconsistencies have started stacking up faster than the Sussex media machine can emotionally contain them. Prince Harry condemns social media culture while Meghan Markle expands lifestyle branding online. Prince Harry speaks emotionally about privacy while deeply personal family content appears inside public-facing campaigns. Meghan Markle frames separation from royal life as liberation while repeatedly returning to royal identity as the emotional centerpiece of major publicity moments. The contradictions do not merely frustrate critics anymore. The contradictions weaken narrative coherence itself. And once a public brand loses narrative coherence, public trust begins eroding almost automatically. What makes this even more dangerous for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is that Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, currently benefit from the exact opposite perception. Even during periods of uncertainty, health concerns, and royal pressure, Prince William and Catherine project consistency. Audiences know roughly what Prince William represents. Audiences understand the emotional tone surrounding Catherine, Princess of Wales. There is discipline inside the messaging. There is restraint inside the presentation. And whether people love or dislike monarchy as a system, consistency creates credibility over time. That difference may ultimately explain why the monarchy appears increasingly relaxed about the Sussex situation despite years of media turbulence. Earlier phases of the conflict carried genuine institutional danger because Prince Harry and Meghan Markle still possessed massive cultural momentum, strong celebrity alliances, enormous public sympathy, and the explosive novelty factor surrounding royal departure itself. But momentum is difficult to sustain indefinitely without a stable long-term narrative foundation. Eventually, audiences begin asking deeper questions. What exactly is the mission now? What is being built? What replaces the monarchy emotionally once the anger phase fades? And that is where Prince Harry and Meghan Markle increasingly appear vulnerable. Because unlike Prince William, the future king, Prince Harry no longer possesses a clearly defined public role anchored inside service structure or constitutional purpose. Prince Harry exists somewhere between celebrity, activist, media personality, royal exile, and California entrepreneur, yet none of those identities fully stabilize the larger Sussex narrative anymore. Meghan Markle faces a similar challenge. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, clearly wants cultural influence, but audiences still struggle to identify the emotional core underneath the branding strategy itself. Is the goal wellness leadership? Hollywood production power? Political influence? Lifestyle empire status? Royal rebellion storytelling? The answer changes depending on the month, and that instability creates audience fatigue. Meanwhile, the monarchy continues functioning exactly as institutions survive best. Slowly, methodically, and with generational patience. King Charles III may currently occupy the throne, but many insiders believe the emotional transition toward a future Prince William era has already quietly begun in the public imagination. Every appearance by Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, reinforces that sense of preparation. Every carefully managed event subtly reminds audiences that the institution still possesses succession stability regardless of temporary controversy surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And perhaps most painfully for Prince Harry himself, Prince William increasingly appears emotionally comfortable continuing that future journey without needing reconciliation to validate it publicly anymore. That realization changes the emotional stakes of the entire Sussex story. Because at the beginning, many people assumed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's departure represented temporary royal turbulence before eventual healing. Now, however, audiences are beginning to consider a far more permanent possibility, that Prince William's future monarchy may simply move forward structurally, emotionally, and publicly without Prince Harry playing any meaningful role inside it at all. And if that truly becomes reality, then Meghan Markle's anniversary carousel may eventually be remembered not as a romantic tribute, but as one of the clearest signs that the Sussex brand had already begun looking backward while the monarchy itself quietly moved on ahead. And the final piece of the story may be the most revealing of all, because once royal insiders started discussing how ordinary palace staff and longtime aristocratic circles now privately view Prince Harry and Meghan Markle behind closed doors, an even more uncomfortable picture started emerging. So before we break down why some commentators believe the real damage surrounding the Sussexes is no longer happening publicly but socially inside elite royal networks themselves, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because the final chapter of the story changes the meaning of everything that came before it. What may ultimately haunt Prince Harry and Meghan Markle most about this entire situation is not the criticism from tabloids, not the backlash from royal commentators, and not even the growing skepticism spreading across social media platforms. The deeper problem appears to be something far more difficult to repair once it quietly settles into place. The sense that influential people inside royal and elite social circles no longer view the Sussexes as unpredictable rebels capable of reshaping the monarchy, but instead increasingly see Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as emotionally exhausting figures trapped in an endless cycle of public contradiction. And once that perception hardens behind closed doors, recovery becomes incredibly difficult because elite networks survive on trust, discretion, and stability above almost everything else. That may explain why the atmosphere surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle feels so dramatically different today compared to the explosive excitement surrounding the couple only a few years ago. Back during the Oprah interview era, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle still possessed extraordinary cultural momentum. Media outlets treated every statement like a global event. Hollywood celebrities rushed toward association with the Sussex brand. Streaming companies saw enormous commercial potential. Even critics acknowledged the couple commanded massive attention. But attention and enduring influence are not the same thing, and increasingly it feels as though Prince Harry and Meghan Markle generated far more emotional disruption than long-term institutional loyalty from the powerful circles surrounding them. Now compare that reality to the position Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, occupy today. Even during one of the most emotionally difficult periods the modern monarchy has faced in years, involving public health concerns surrounding both King Charles III and Catherine, Princess of Wales, the core royal structure still appears socially intact. Prince William continues receiving visible support from aristocratic networks, military institutions, Commonwealth circles, diplomatic communities, and establishment figures who value continuity above drama. Catherine, Princess of Wales, continues commanding immense public affection despite months of speculation and intrusive global attention surrounding Catherine's health journey. And perhaps most importantly, Prince William and Kate Middleton increasingly project an image of emotional seriousness that aligns naturally with the responsibilities of future monarchy. That difference matters enormously because monarchy is ultimately a confidence system. Royal institutions survive because enough people continue believing the structure possesses legitimacy, dignity, and continuity stronger than temporary political or cultural storms. Once audiences stop believing in stability, institutions weaken. Prince William appears to understand this instinctively. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, often appears to approach visibility through the lens of modern celebrity culture where constant emotional engagement, controversy cycles, and algorithmic relevance drive attention. Those two systems fundamentally conflict with each other. One rewards restraint. The other rewards perpetual exposure. And perhaps that is the hidden tragedy inside Prince Harry's transformation over the last several years. Because Prince Harry once balanced both worlds remarkably well. Prince Harry carried enough royal credibility to command institutional respect while also possessing enough emotional openness to connect with ordinary audiences in ways Prince William often could not. That balance made Prince Harry extraordinarily valuable to the monarchy itself. But somewhere during the California transition, Prince Harry's identity began revolving almost entirely around opposition rather than contribution. Opposition to palace systems. Opposition to media treatment. Opposition to royal hierarchy. Opposition to historical grievances. Eventually, the emotional center of the Sussex narrative became conflict itself, and conflict is extremely difficult to sustain forever without eventually consuming the people generating it. That is why Meghan Markle's anniversary carousel triggered reactions far beyond one Instagram upload. The carousel unintentionally exposed the emotional stagnation sitting underneath the Sussex brand. 8 years after the royal wedding that captivated the world, Meghan Markle still appears emotionally and commercially tied to the institution Meghan Markle publicly insisted was restrictive, damaging, and incompatible with personal freedom. Ask yourself honestly, if Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had successfully built an entirely new global identity disconnected from royal relevance, would audiences still be discussing wedding photographs from St. George's Chapel in 2018 with this level of intensity today? Probably not. And that realization leads directly to the most uncomfortable question hanging over the future of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle moving forward. What happens when the royal connection gradually stops generating emotional momentum altogether? What happens once Prince William officially becomes king and the monarchy fully reorganizes itself around a new generational center where Prince Harry exists mostly as a distant historical footnote rather than an active emotional participant? Because that transition may already be happening quietly in public consciousness right now. The younger generation of royal coverage increasingly revolves around Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Public fascination increasingly centers around Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Prince William as the future face of the institution. Even Princess and Queen Camilla and the Edinburgh branch of the family continue functioning steadily within the royal framework, while Prince Harry and Meghan Markle drift further into celebrity media territory rather than constitutional significance. And every year that passes without meaningful reconciliation makes the separation feel less temporary and more permanent. Which brings us back to the anniversary carousel itself. 24 carefully chosen photographs. One emotional narrative. One attempt to preserve symbolic ownership over a royal chapter that no longer appears emotionally accessible in the present tense. But perhaps the most revealing part of the entire upload was not who Meghan Markle excluded from the images. Perhaps the most revealing part was the overwhelming sense that the carousel itself felt almost offensive, as though the Sussex brand needed audiences to remember the wedding because the present no longer carries the same emotional power the past once did. And history shows that institutions usually win endurance battles against personality-driven movements, simply because institutions are designed to outlast individuals emotionally. Queen Elizabeth II understood that truth for 70 years. King Charles III appears to understand it now. Prince William, the future king, seems determined to carry the same philosophy into the next reign. Remain steady. Remain patient. Let time reshape perception naturally. Meanwhile, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle continue fighting a much harder battle, the battle against public fatigue. So now the question passes to you. Do you believe Prince Harry and Meghan Markle can still rebuild a powerful long-term identity separate from royal nostalgia? Or has the Sussex story become permanently dependent on revisiting the monarchy they once claimed to leave behind forever? Drop your thoughts below because this conversation is far from over, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the shifting future of Prince William, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and the House of Windsor, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay with us for the next royal analysis because the closer the monarchy moves toward the Prince William era, the more dramatic these family fractures may become behind palace walls.